Well, first of all, we need to start moving away from the assumption that children need disciplining. Mostly, they need love and affection. And when we show them that courtesy, then they'll return it. And so sometimes if they say no to a directive, what we need to listen for is what they're saying yes to. So if we ask them, for example, to get their pyjamas on and they say no, then they're saying yes to something else. And we find out what the something else is and figure out if there's a way that they can get their needs met. So if it's finishing something that they're watching on TV or a game they're playing on a computer or whatever, we can find out a way if they can do that in their pyjamas instead of doing it, stopping it just because we said so. We'd be not interested in stopping something we're doing just because somebody else said so, so children will be too. The other thing to remember is that our species has evolved to be highly cooperative. And therefore, our problem with children isn't asking ourselves, how do I get this child to be cooperative? Our question is, how do we make sure we don't damage the child's desire to cooperate? And therefore, on the understanding that we can trust children, that everything they do is rational, that is, it's an attempt to meet their needs, the same as you or I, we attempt to meet our needs every day. So they're trying to meet a need. It just happens they might not be doing it very expertly, or whatever their strategy they're using might be inconveniencing us. Nevertheless, what we look for is, how do I get that need met with using a strategy that's skillful and doesn't happen to inconvenience other people? So for example, they don't want to get into their car seat. Find out why not. What's their objection? And it might well be something really simple, like it's too hot in there, surrounded by all that plastic and so on. And so there might be a way that we can turn the car air conditioner on for 2 minutes before we ask them to get into the seat. But unless we ask, what's your objection, what's your problem with doing what I've asked, we can't solve it because we think they're just being defiant. The other thing I think is really important is to make sure that we don't praise children for getting things right. Because when we tell children they're good boys for getting things right, they'll think they're a bad boy if they get it wrong. And so we harm their self-esteem, and they feel that they have to keep proving themselves all their lives. So as well as getting rid of punishments, so we don't reprimand, we find out what the issue is, as I've already said. We also get rid of the praise and the good boy, good girls, and instead celebrate and congratulate with them the way we would with a friend who's got a new job. Instead of saying, oh, good girl for your promotion or good girl for getting the new job, we would say, oh, congratulations, I bet you're thrilled. And by doing that with children, we're not tying their worth to their ability to please us and to meet our standards. And so they'll come through life feeling that their worth isn't up for debate. And feeling worthy is our birthright. And so by not praising, we're making sure that they feel worthy, but we're still giving feedback that gives them information about something they've achieved.